he is going to multiply it, meaning, let's say times 5, times 10, times whatever. Now this is what you got to go through now, right? Go ahead, read that part. Keep going.
Oh God, in sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband.
And thy desire shall be to thyself. You should do your own desires. That's what it say?
And thy desire shall be to thy husband.
Your desires is going to be to your husband. What does that mean? Thy desire shall be to thy husband. Somebody explain that to me. You might have just changed the whole topic of this class, Key. Go ahead. Go ahead, Trey.
Desire is your want, the things that you're passionate about.
Your desire. Go ahead.
Right. And the Most High was telling Eve that her desire will be for her husband. What her husband wants is what she's going to end up wanting. She may not agree with the way you go about getting it, but it's right for her.
And then I need to break that down. Somebody give me a precept of somebody give me a precept of that happening in the Bible. I'll tell you before we get this precept, this is where I'm going with it. Now we understand, or that we know, I have to know that Christ is the head of man, meaning Christ is my Adawan. Christ is my Lord, the King, is my master. And the man is the head of the man. I ain't gonna go like that. Guys, master, give me a cry. Not that he's a woman, but it's rank and order in every structure. I have to submit to the men above me. They have to submit to the men above them. The children have to submit to my woman. It's rank and order. Somebody tell me. You got one?
Okay, sir.
Go ahead.
Is it the precept what Christ looking to the young man?
That's not the one I'm looking for. Go ahead.
I could. Is it where it says what Christ is saying? I can do it myself, or I myself can do nothing. But it's the Most High, you know.
All right, somebody look up. One of y'all priests look up. Let this cup pass. Let this cup pass me, or something like that. In your concordance or your search engine. Let this cup pass from me. When Christ said that.
I got it, sir.
You got. Where you at? Where you at?
Matthew chapter 6.
Everybody hold your place, and you ain't got to go to Matthew. I want him to read this real quick. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 26, verse 42. He went away again the second time and prayed, saying, "O Father, if this cup may not be, except I drink it, thy will be done."
Okay. Is there something before that? You know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for nevertheless, not my will. Is that somewhere?
Right. Okay, so that's a few verses up above it.
Yeah, go back up there then. Go there.
Matthew chapter 26, verse 39. And he went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, "Oh my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me."
So Christ is saying, look, I gotta die for these wicked, ignorant people who is calling for my head and to save a thief over me. I know I gotta die for them. I gotta die for this wicked generation that don't even believe, after all the miracles I've done, after all the things you've shown them, that I am the Messiah sent and I am the way, the truth, and the light. I gotta die for them. I don't really want to do it. Christ ain't want to do it. He was trying to pray that the Lord would change his mind, and he did not have to. Keep going. Nevertheless. What does nevertheless mean? Somebody tell me. Nevertheless. Go ahead.
It means even if you want to, it doesn't matter.
Nevertheless, just nevertheless. What does that mean? Go ahead.
It means in spite of, like, I don't want to go to work, but nevertheless,
I need that direct deposit. Nevertheless, I'm gonna get my behind up and I'm gonna go because I need that money. Nevertheless means regardless. It don't matter how I feel. Nevertheless, what? Nevertheless, what? Itazar, what do you say?
Oh God! Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt.
Not as what I want, what you want. Sisters, brothers, first of all, let's start with you. If you gonna even wish or think that a woman is going to do this for you, you will have to learn how to do this first. You will have to learn how to submit before you ever in your life be able to get anybody to submit under you. They have this thing in Esau's world, say the greatest leaders are the best followers. Y'all ever heard that before? You can't be getting orders and then be like, man, I don't want to do this, and talking trash and doing all this and saying all this, and then your woman see it, and then you expect her not to do the same thing when you give her an order. It's all about rank, order, and structure. Our King Yahushua, the greatest man that ever walked the face of the earth, showed us how to do it. He ain't want to die. Talking about death. You tell your rib to cook something to eat or something like that, or not go where she want to go or something like that, and it's too big. He's speaking to the Most High about death, right? Nevertheless, not my will. Keep going.
Nevertheless, not my will, as thou wilt.
But as thou will. This is the same spirit of sister should operate in, where it says, and thy desire shall be to thy husband. This is what Christ is saying. Not what I desire, but what you desire. This is what I say. Not what I desire, but what my Lord, what Christ desires for me. Everybody get that, right? Let's go back to Genesis 3:16. Genesis chapter 3, verse 16. Read that part, and thy desire shall be. Start right there, and we'll finish this off.
Hello, God. Book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 16. As thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
And it shall be 50-50.
And he shall rule over thee.
And y'all shall be equal partners.
And he shall rule over thee.
You see that? Y'all see that, right? Because Eve on her own was beguiled by the devil, the Lord put a hedge of protection over her, which was her husband. The only reason you are in the position of rulership over your woman is because she is the weaker vessel, and your job is to protect her. Your job is to do what the Lord says no matter what. Her job is to do what you say no matter what. Everybody clear on that, right? All right, Most High in Christ. Keep going. Verse 17. I think this is what you wanted, right?
Book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 17. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, wait. What did it say? Because thou have hearkened unto the voice of the devil?
Unto the voice of thy wife.
You done listen to your woman now. That's all Adam did. He listened to his woman. Who in here ain't never listened to their woman now? I tell sisters all the time, you can get a man to do whatever you want him to do if you operating in the right spirit. All Adam did was listen to his woman. Now he's being punished by the Most High. Go ahead,
God. And has eaten of the tree from which I commanded thee.
Because you done listen to your woman instead of listening to me. Go ahead.
God. Saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake.
Cursed is the ground for your sake. Now, let me make it broad. You know what I'm saying? I forget the exact lingo or breakdown, but what he's essentially saying is this right here. Right now, the Israelites are in America, right? When the Israelites got into Israel, it was the land flowing with milk and honey and all of this other stuff. We got into Israel, started sinning against the Lord. And for that purpose, everything changed. What you do and how you serve the Lord, it even affects whether or not trees, vegetables, fruit, animals, birds, and everything else is going to be blessed or cursed. When you don't get a harvest, when you don't do this, it's all because you ain't serving the Lord. You understand that, Keith? Can anybody think of a precept off top? We hear it a lot at camp. That's the hint. Come on, y'all with me? All right, so nobody got it? Give me when the wicked bear rule. It's in Proverbs. What he's saying here is because of what Adam did, the things that was automatically going to come to him. He was going to reap a harvest. He was going to, whatever he put in the ground, whatever, you know, he needed was going to be right there with him. Because of his sin against the Lord, even the ground is going to be cursed. This is the reason why he was put out of the garden. Because Adam was cursed now for breaking the law of the Lord, and even the ground he walked on will be cursed. Keep going up.
Okay.
1 second. Keep going on, Keith.
God. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life.
Now, right now we go to Walmart, right? We get our vegetables and all of that from Walmart or Publix or Whole Food if you bougie, whatever the case may be, right? It's not very hard to get, but there's a lot of work and sweat, and it's a lot of work that good. So just like a woman could have a baby beforehand and it wasn't, well, that sorrow has been multiplied now. It's a hard job for you to be able to get something out of the earth when at one time the earth was just plentiful. That's what they call it, like in the garden. everything was good and made, and all Adam had to do was till it. You know what I'm saying? Till the land and make sure it was straight. The Lord was taking care of, just like in any situation. Right now, if you continue to sin against the Lord, even the ground that you go, it's like, you know, when the land was cursed, ain't no crops coming up, ain't no rain, ain't no bird. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't even no meat or whatever. This is what it's talking about. But what I want to do though is ask this question. It might be something that I'm missing out of it. That maybe Officer Shawar can bring to shine some light. But do you understand what's going on, right? All right.
Like because Adam didn't follow the law that happened, pretty much everything else in the world.
Who was in charge? Who did the Lord put in charge? Adam.
Adam, sir.
The Lord put Adam in charge. He didn't put Eve in charge. What the hell is he listening to her? Okay, you want to listen to her? Because you listen to her, now even the ground you walk on is cursed. Now even the ground that's producing land, that's producing food for you to eat. Everything is cursed. Give me my precept, Trey.
Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Right? So what was Adam if he was keeping the law, statutes, and commandments? If he was doing what the Lord said to do, what was Adam? He was righteous. Read the second part of it, Trey.
But when the wicked bears rule, the people mourn.
What was Adam if he was not following the law, statutes, and commandments? If he was following his woman instead of what the Lord said?
He was wicked, sir.
He was wicked. So everybody up under him got to suffer because he broke the laws of the Lord. Different than when David numbered the people and the Lord said not to, Israelites died because the king did it. No different than when Pharaoh went against what the Lord said to do and didn't let the people go. Egyptians died. The person that's in charge has your life in their hands. This is the reason why a woman should listen to her man. This is the reason why we should follow our King, Yahushua. This is the reason why our King, Yahushua, followed the Most High. This is the reason why your children should listen to you. Everybody get what I'm saying? Because it's bigger than you. When you mess up, everybody suffers. Your whole household suffers. All right. Did I answer your question up? No, sir. Anybody else got any questions? Go ahead,
Can I get a breakdown on Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verses 1 through 10?
Ecclesiastes or Ecclesiasticus?
Ecclesiasticus in your pocket.
All right, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 1. That's what you said?
Chapter 5.
Chapter 5, verse 1 through 10. That's a lot. Specifically, what part?
7 through 10.
7 through 10? All right, hold on one second. I'm going to read verse 1. Set not thy heart upon thy goods, and say not, I have enough for my life. Follow not thy own mind and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart. This is the same thing we was talking about. Basically, it ain't about what you want. Don't get caught up in what you want all the time. And say not, who shall control me for my works? For the Lord will surely revenge thy pride. So if you got a whole bunch of pride, you know what I'm saying, and you can't humble yourself and follow the Lord and follow the men of the Lord, then something good may not happen for you, because the Lord is in control of good and not evil. Say not, I have sinned, and what harm have happened unto me? Same thing that what Eve was saying. Yeah, I followed what the serpent said, and look, I ain't die. For the Lord is long suffering. He will in no wise let thee go. Concerning propitiation, be not without fear and add sin unto sin. Go to verse 7. I want you to read it from there.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Most High.
All right, so stop right there. What does the word tarrying mean?
Wait, delay. Don't be slack. Don't be slow to do it.
Don't be slow to do it. Do not take your time to get this true. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord. Meaning, now, every brother and sister that comes into this school and they get to watch these videos and they get to come to class and they get to see the brotherhood and they get to see everything that's going on. The only thing right now can stop you is the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. Because you're learning the truth. You're learning what the Lord really wants. So now, our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Now you're getting that knowledge. The only thing can stop you is your pride. I ain't listening to them niggas. I ain't got to listen to nobody. I'm a grown man. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm a grown-ass woman. Why I got to listen to him? That's pride. Or you want to go smoke some weed, or you want to go have some unlawful sex, or you want to eat something that you desire that's not. This is the only thing that can stop you once you're in the truth. So what is you going to wait for if you know the truth? Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, or put it not off from day to day. Meaning, and I'm going to give y'all an example. Me, I knew about the truth probably like a year or two before I ever came in the truth, because Captain Katazai came in the truth. I learned from another Hebrew Israelite group that I was an Israelite. And I'm like, man, it's all the same. They say we need to come back to the Bible and this, that, and the other. It ain't really, they saying the same thing. But I didn't come into the truth, right? I made tarrying from, I put it off. You know why? Because in here you're going to get some work. And here you're going to get some correction. And here you're going to be put to the test to see if you really built to serve the Lord, because everybody is not. Don't put it off from day to day. I mess around a whole year and a half. By the time I come in the truth, a brother that, you know what I'm saying, told me about the truth was an officer of 5,000 before I even got in here. Good. Go ahead, Al.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5. Verse 7, make no tarrying to turn to the Most High, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Most High come forth, and in that security thou shalt be destroyed.
In the same way you thought you was safe, you know what I'm saying? Same place you thought that you could sleep good at night. I've been in the hood all my life, but it wasn't until I learned the truth how the Lord can take niggas up out of here, or, you know what I'm saying, change everything from bad to good overnight, that I understood what was really going on, that I understood why other people was dying around me. It was the Lord's mercy that was saving me. It wasn't my pistol. It wasn't how bad I was or the people that I was hanging with that was saving me from being dead. It was the Lord having mercy on me. Everybody understand that, right? Well, if you want to keep putting it off, doing the work of the Lord, then all suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth. And where you thought you was safe at, that's where you're going to be destroyed at. Keep going. Keep going, Trey.
I was taking notes. And perish in the day of vengeance. Set not thy heart upon good unjustly guided.
What is that? What is that? That's dope money. That's pimp money. That's I claim kids I ain't never took care of to try to get over on the government. That's I robbed a nigga. That's everything that comes from cheating, lying, stealing, things like that, right? Set not thy heart upon goods unjustly gotten. Where everything you hear about and see on TV, you got the Birkin bag and the Gucci's and the red bottoms and the Jordans and all of this stuff, right? You working a 9-to-5 job, or you slaving for a white man, or whatever the case may be. 9 times out of 10, that's how you got it. Now, if you got it honestly and you go and want to go do that, that's something totally different. But goods unjustly gotten, do not put your mind on that. That's what it's saying. Go ahead.
For they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity.
How many cats I know from back in the days that was balling, got 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. Now they like, put some money on my commissary. Send me some this. I need some shoes. I need to buy this. I need deodorant. I need toilet paper. Anybody got somebody that's locked up? Shiratazar, you over the prison department, right? All right. So have you ever seen somebody in a position where one time you see them, they balling and they the man on the streets, and then the next time they can't even, you know what I'm saying? They can't even get no ramen noodles in the joint. Go ahead. Go ahead. First hand. Let's get it. You already know what. I'll say it. I already know. You ain't the only one, Op. You ain't the only one. This is what the Lord is saying. All of that money that Cass was making, all of these things they was doing by robbing niggas and stealing and selling dope and all of this, it can't profit them in the day of their calamity. Meaning if the Lord ain't with you, it ain't going to be able to benefit you none. That's what this is talking about. Go ahead, Op.
I know, brother. All he would do is go to the club and, make a night over and whatnot. He post on ID, and then one day he came out and
man, let me tell you something, man. Trey already know, man, and it's a brother that I know, like, raised me. I ain't talking about Bud, I'm talking about another cat, Trey. But it's a brother that raised me, and every time I seen that brother, he'll be like, this is what I'm doing, but I ain't gonna let you do that, this, that, or the other, man. The brother always had it, always was doing good as far as I know. And I buried that brother and carried him to his final resting place. Look, in the day of your calamity, Lord, if the Lord ain't with you, man, it don't matter how much money you got out. It don't matter. That's what this is talking about, Trey. You get it? You had a question on verse 9 or 10, or you get the gist to this, because I got a topic I want to go into. Go ahead and read it. Go ahead and read it real quick. Let me go ahead and I ain't gonna break it all the way down, but you'll get it. Go ahead and read 9 and 10 real quick.
Willow not with every wind, and go not into every way.
Don't be following after everything you see. A cat come tell you, hey, yo, I got this lick. Hey, I got this. I got that. So, lucky, y'all, if I'm speaking a language you don't understand, that means you ain't from where I'm from. But just let me know. Just say Salaki. I don't understand the lingo you using. But I talk like this because I feel like, you know what I'm saying, we talking to black people. We talking to people that's been in slums, and where I come from, it's the same type of environment. Even if the lingo changes, I might have to change the lingo for you to understand. But that's what the Bible is saying. Don't follow after everybody. Keep going.
For so does the sinner that have a double tongue.
Yeah. What it says, a man, oh man. It's a scripture that says something about a unstable man or a man. Go ahead.
Yeah, you thinking about a double-minded man is unstable as well.
There you go. A double-minded man. You can't be in the truth today and be back on the streets tomorrow and do this and that and the other day. You really a sinner. You just got a double tongue. It's the same reason why we talk about Christians all the time, man. Some of my, close people in my family is Christian. But the reason why I'm speaking like this, because you will say one thing and then in reality, that ain't really what you want. You ain't really trying to follow the Lord like you say, else you would change your ways. You get an opportunity to do that in the truth. You get an opportunity to prove that you really want to follow the Lord, because we're going to show you how. And then you got to at least say, well, I'm going to fall out the truth and go do what I want to do, or I'm going to stay in here and I'm going to subject myself to the men of the Lord. I'm going to submit myself to the work of the Lord. Keep going up.
Be steadfast in thy understanding.
Steadfast.
Thy word.
Go ahead. And let thy word what?
Let thy word be the same.
Yeah, steadfast, unmovable, constant, not changing. Be like that in your understanding. When you learn something, it's a reason why we say, stand on what you've been taught already. There's brothers in here I done got words from. I ain't really understand it when they told it to me, but I stood on it. And it has not been proven wrong yet. Nobody's been able to prove it wrong. And then your words be the same way. If you're going to follow and be in this truth, go ahead and be out. I was just telling somebody earlier, I think it was a rapper, Mystical, back in the day, said, if you're going to be down with me, be all the way down or get from around me. Basically, man, don't say one thing and do another. That's what it's talking about. You got it? You got it, Trey? All right, Most High in Christ. All right, any other questions before I get into my topic? All right. Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 2. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 2. For everybody online, it's Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. We started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, back in 1969. We are now under commanding General Yohana. I am Priest and Officer Kazak Damar. This is the Truth 101 class, and we do this every Monday night, Lord allow. The purpose of this class is for us to break down the basics of what we teach here in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, the basics of what you need to know in order to change your life and to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. All right? If you got that precept, go ahead.
1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 2. I have fed you with milk and not with meat. For hitherto you were not able to bear it, neither yet now are ye able.
This is Paul. He's talking to the Israelites in Corinth. And what he's saying is, I have fed you with milk and not with meat. Now, Paul ain't talking about food in the scripture. What he's saying is, I have given you the basics of what you need. I ain't gave you nothing heavy for you to digest. Christ said, in order to follow me, you must become as one of these babes. You have to be like a child to come in this truth. I came in here knowing that I knew everything about the Bible. And all that did was got me checked and got me corrected more and more, and found out that I didn't know nothing. With all the studying I did independently and watching YouTube videos and searching and looking up stuff, I kind of found out I could not get it until I got it broke down for me by the men who were ordained to do it. By the men who the Lord called to do it. Other than that, man, you're just going to get a bunch of, lack of a better word, mumbo jumbo. You're going to get a bunch of foolishness. But Paul is breaking it down for these brothers and saying, I fed you with milk and not meat. For up until this point, you were not able to bear it. Meaning, it's a whole bunch of stuff in this Bible that if somebody told it to you and they wasn't able to break it down to you, you couldn't even stand. Like it's right now, if y'all was at camp with us on Saturday, Officer Shawar was breaking out. Brother just came up and asked us, well, why y'all talking about hate? Well, why y'all hate people? Why y'all preaching hate? And Officer Shawar went in the scriptures and showed this brother where King David, a man after the Lord's own heart, was talking about, do I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee? And showed them Christ and say, those my enemies. And show him different places where it was talking about hating what the Lord hates and loving what the Lord loves, and us not hating the things that the Lord hates. And that was our problem. The brother could not bear it. You know why? Because he don't know the background of all of that. He ain't come to class like y'all and get an opportunity to ask questions like, wait a minute, I've been taught this all my life. How you going to say that this is this? Let's go through it. Let's go to the scriptures that say it first. And if you're able to receive it, then that's what it is. But Paul was telling them, up until this point, you weren't able to bear the meat. So I fed you with milk. I gave you the basics. Neither yet are you now able to. I know you think you know it all and you smart and you this and that. Officer Shawar used to tell me every single week, because I graduated from college, cum laude and all of this. I was smart. I did my own independent research. It's not about how smart you is, This is spiritual. Everybody understand that, right? This is spiritual.
Oh, God.
No matter how smart you is. Can you say kind out of one kind? Can you follow orders? That's really what it's all about. You being smart is going to make it hard to do that. Because it's a lot of orders I got. I want to think about them first. That's what your woman doing too. You telling her to do something, she thinking about it. Now, do this make sense? This don't even make no sense. Just follow the order. Salakia. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, what we're going to talk about now, what we're going into is, what is heaven? Right? When we was in the world and in the church, they was like, we trying to get to heaven. We want to make it. We want to make it to heaven. But when you start telling people what heaven really is, then they look at you sideways. They don't even know if they want a part of it. I don't know if I want to be in heaven if the white man can't come too. That's how Cats is. Know what I'm saying? I told I think we was in class a couple of weeks ago, and I was talking about how a brother came to me when I was in the world, whatever. He was like, man, I just want to know, you know what I'm saying? I know you be reading that Bible and all of that. Is there gonna be some holes in heaven? Because if not, I don't want to go. Now, Officer Shawar made it clear that, you know, the brother might have just been talking about sisters, but that's not what he said. That's not what he said. The point I'm trying to make is some people want a smoking section in heaven. What is heaven? What's the point? What are we trying to achieve? That's what we're going to go into, all right? Now, I know some of y'all might have heard some of this before, but it's very important that we know what we're working for. Right? So, first of all, so we can skip that part of it, somebody tell me what hell is.
Salakia.
Go ahead.
Condition we in right now, Adawan.
You're right. What condition are we in?
Barely got enough to eat. Barely got enough to survive. We living from paycheck to paycheck. As they say, robbing Peter to pay Paul.
All right. I'm right there with you. Some say everybody might not be in that situation, but let's make it a little bit even let's take a brother like, I don't know, LeBron James, or insert black man with some money here. Are they in heaven? What makes them not be in heaven?
Like,
Go ahead, officer.
not being in rulership.
Rulership is heaven, right? So what is hell? Go ahead. Servitude, captivity, the not getting the blessings of the Lord, but getting the curses. It's more like the death as opposed to life, right? So give me Amos chapter 9, verse 2. We'll get this one real quick and then we'll go into heaven. Just want to make it very clear. Go ahead.
Oh, God. Book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 2. Though they dig into hell, that your might have tasted. Though they climb to heaven, that's what brings them down.
So these people is trying to get out of hell and go to heaven, but the Lord is saying He's gonna break them down. These people trying to get out of hell, and the Lord is saying He gonna bring them up out of it. So this is like, it don't really matter what you want. Romans 9, I believe it's 13, says, it's not to him that willeth nor him that runneth, but the Lord who showeth mercy, right? So whether you in heaven or hell, it's got something to do with whether the Lord having mercy on you. Even if you get a piece of the white man's heaven right now, it don't mean that you're going to rule anything. Keep going.
Oh, God. Verse 3. And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out. I will search and take them out then. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, that's what I command the serpent, and he shall bite them.
Salakia, where you at? What verse?
Book of Amos, chapter 93.
I command a serpent, and they shall bite them. So it says, and though they hid themselves at the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out hence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command a serpent, and he will bite them. What the Lord is saying is, it don't matter you go. You can be LeBron James, or you could be Trey, or you could be Kazak, or you can be Keith, or you can be Officer Aitazar, or you could be Commanding General Yohana. It don't matter who you are. The Lord is going to bestow on you whatever you have coming to you, right? You can go and hide yourself in here, a white man, and get a cushy job and all of this other stuff. The Lord is going to search out your heart, and He'll find you no matter if you at the highest of the heights or at the bottom of the bottom. Everybody understand that, right?
Oh, God.
All right, verse 4.
Oh, God. And though they go into captivity before their enemy, that's what I command the sword. And they shall slay them. And I will set my eyes upon them for evil and not for good.
All right, that's what hell is right there. That's what hell is. It's the captivity, and the Lord setting His eyes on you for evil and not for good. We can follow that, right? But it's a key word in here. It's a key word in this scripture right here that tells you exactly what hell is, and that word is captivity. And Israel has spent a lot of time in captivity. We've been in captivity up under the Egyptians. We've been in captivity up under the Assyrians, up under the Persians, up under the Medes, up under the Babylonians, up under the Romans, up under the Greeks, up under America. We've been in all types of captivities. This is judgment from the Lord. Now, where in the hell is this hell at? Ecclesiastes 3:16. Somebody give it to me. Ecclesiastes 3:16. Go ahead.
Oh, God. Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 16. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment. That wickedness was there. And the place of righteousness. That iniquity was there.
The place of judgment, wickedness was there. The place of righteousness, iniquity was there. What does that tell you about the place of judgment and the place of righteousness? Go ahead.
That is the earth.
That is right here. They the same place. How can iniquity be in the place of righteousness? If the place of judgment and the place of righteousness ain't the same place. You're going to get the good or the bad. It's going to be right here on earth. Y'all got that, right? All right. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. Let's get into heaven real quick. Since we know they're on earth, what is heaven? Is rulership on the earth. This is heaven right here. Read it.
In Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High, thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Most High, thy power, will set thee on high above all nations.
Above some nations.
Above all nations of the earth.
This is the Lord's promise to us. Do what I tell you to do. I'm going to set you on high above all nations on the earth. Give me 1 Kings chapter 2. Heaven is rulership over other people. And it's hard to understand it now because you go to a slavery and you work for another nation of people. But that was never the Lord's intention for us. Just like the Lord said, go ahead.
Book of 1 Kings, chapter 2, verse 1. Now when David drew nigh, that he should die, and he charged Solomon his son, saying.
So now David's the king, right? He's having a conversation. He knows he's going to die. He's talking to his son, who is the heir to the throne. The situation we in now, like we can't even barely feed our kids, and if we die, we ain't got nothing to leave them. He's leaving him the entire earth. Go ahead.
Oh, God. Verse 2. I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man.
In other words, what is he saying to his son? Somebody break that down. Hold on, man. Is there any troopers? Is there any troopers or officers in the class? The young men, they being very diligent. Yeah, go ahead, Doc. Don't be no coward. Don't be soft. At some point, I got to die. Be strong and show yourself to be a man. Don't be no bitch. Salakia. Keep going.
Verse 3. And keep the charge for the Most High thy power, to walk in his ways, and keep his statutes, and his commandments, and his judgments, and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses.
As it is written where?
As it is written in the law of Moses.
In the law of Moses, right? So now, any one of you brothers in the truth, if you know you about to leave out of here, this is one of the best things you should possibly leave with your kids before you leave here. Keep charge of the Most High, your power, to walk in his ways. Don't do your own thing. To keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgments and his testimonies. Not what you think. You like, oh, the Lord spoke to me and he told me to do this. That ain't what he's talking about. You keep it as it is written in the law of Moses, that you may prosper. Keep going.
That thou mayest prosper in all that thou
That you're going to prosper in everything you do and wherever you go. Keep going.
God, that the Most High may continue his word, which he spake concerning me, saying, if thy children take heed to their way, to walk before me in the truth with all their heart and with all their soul. There shall not fail thee that keep a man on the throne of Israel.
You keep heaven. This is how you continue heaven on, is that you pass on a legacy of men that's going to keep the laws, statutes, commandments, and judgments and testimonies and laws of the Most High. The reason you're going to do this is so that the Lord may continue his word, which he spake concerning me. What does he tell David? If your children take heed to their way to walk before me in this truth with all their mind and with all their soul, then there ain't going to never be no man not sitting on the throne of Israel. Somebody tell me who was sitting on the throne of Israel when Christ came. Yes.
Okay. No one was sitting on the throne of Israel.
Why not?
Because at that time we had all already disobeyed the Most High.
We went against the Lord, and there was no man sitting on the throne of Israel by the time Yahushua came. Take me to Yahushua, Matthew 6 and 10. Let's get it. This is heaven. It wasn't supposed to be no other nation ruling over us. We supposed to be there. You got it? So this is Yahushua teaching the disciples how to pray. Keep going.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 10. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Who is the thy in this? Yahushua is praying. He says, thy kingdom come. Who is the thy? Go ahead.
The Most High.
The Most High's kingdom to come. So he want the Most High kingdom to come, right? He want the Most High's will to be done. Where does he want it to be at? In some imaginary place above the earth? Some place that you die and go to? Where does it say he wanted that right here? Go ahead.
In the earth.
In the earth. As it is in the heaven where the Most High sits. He wanted to be just like when the Lord tell the angels to do something where he's at in his realm in the fourth dimension, it happens. They don't have the option to sin against the Lord. Well, it's supposed to be just like that in the earth. And the only way it's going to be like that is if we get men that are going to do what the Lord says regardless of how they feel about it. The same way he was talking about these women supposed to be in Genesis 3 and 16, that's how you're supposed to be for Yahushua. That's the Lord's kingdom in the earth. That is the heaven that we trying to get to. Rulership on the earth. Everybody understand, right? Give me Matthew chapter 19, verse 25. Let's get a trooper reading. All right, maybe the troopers fell out the troop. Go ahead, Trey.
Matthew chapter 19, verse 25. When his disciples heard it, they were exceedingly amazed, saying, who then can be saved?
So now they up under the Romans, right? Christ walking there up under the Romans, going through all types of hell. The Romans done put these Sadducees and Pharisees over them to keep watch over the children of Israel and make it seem like they keeping the law, statutes, and commandments when the Sadducees and Pharisees themselves are not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. He's saying that now, because he done came into the earth, some people gonna get out of this hell. Israel gonna be raised up again and be a great nation, just like he promised our ancestors. Now, when the disciples heard this, They were exceedingly amazed, saying, well, who can be saved then? Who's going to be in heaven? Who is these people that's going to get raised up? Go ahead.
But Yahushua beheld them and said unto them, with man this is impossible, but with the power all things are possible.
I know we look at our situation right now, and you looking at like, well, wait a minute. I got to get up and go and slay for a devil who hates me every single day of my life. How are we going to get over this? You got some fools out here be like, they going to go out and shoot it out with the white man. Where you going to get the bullets from? You going to make them? All the white man had to do is shut down Walmart and everybody starved to death because you don't know how to grow no food. You don't know how to hunt. You don't know how to do nothing. Just like it said, Deuteronomy 28, you will serve your enemies and want, and what it says, in hunger and thirst and in want of all things. So trying to come up out of this with men, it is impossible. But if you got the Most High on your side, all things are possible. Everybody understand that, right? All right. All right. Go ahead to verse 27.
Then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee.
We have forsaken some.
What? We have forsaken all.
Keep going.
And follow thee. What shall we have therefore?
This is a very good question right here. The brother, in typical nigga fashion, I use that word. If it offends anybody, just let me know, because if it offends you, I won't use it. In typical black man fashion, bro, we done walked off our jobs. We was making good money working at the dock, fishing. And you told us to drop our nets. Now we following you. I see you raising the dead. I see you doing all that. You feeding the hungry and healing people and all of that. But we left everything. Our family's pissed off. They think we in a cult to follow you. What shall we have? Go ahead to the next one.
And Yahushua said unto them, verily, I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration.
In the what?
When the Son of Man, in the regeneration.
Go ahead.
When the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
And Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, meaning truly, this is what I'm saying, that if you don't follow me, once I come into my kingdom, what is Christ's kingdom? What is that? What's another word for Christ's kingdom? Is Christ's kingdom really his kingdom? Huh? Whose kingdom is it, Mashamar? It's the Most High's kingdom. Christ wasn't praying that he get his own kingdom. Christ wasn't saying, let my kingdom. You know how Christians be like, let me be able to get a mansion. Let me get a nice car. Let my children be saved and all this other stuff. Let my church grow. When Christ was teaching us how to pray, he was praying that the Lord's kingdom would come. Right? But now he's saying to his disciples, if you don't follow me, and the regeneration, meaning it wasn't going to happen in their lifetime. And the regeneration, meaning when their spirits were back on the earth and Christ was sitting in his glory, they were also going to sit on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, why is this important? Who is the 12 tribes of Israel going to be judging? Go ahead.
The other nations, Adawan.
The other nations. Remember what we read in Deuteronomy 28:1. In Christ's kingdom, we're going to be keeping and following diligently those laws, statutes, and commandments that Lord gave to David. Salakia, to Moses. So therefore, we will be above all nations. But these original disciples who had not seen Christ rise from the dead, who did not have these records, they was living with him. And he was a nigga just like me and you. And they had to trust that he knew what he was talking about and trust it. And they ain't see the kingdom in their lifetime. So that's why Peter was asking. We doing all this work. What we getting? And he let them know right then in the regeneration, when I sit on my throne and I rule, y'all gonna rule with me over the tribes. Meaning, you got the tribes ruling over the other nations. Y'all gonna be on top of them. Y'all gonna get crowns on top of them. Let's go ahead and read the next verse just because I love that verse.
Verse 29. And everyone that have forsaken houses, or brother, or sister, or father, or mother, or wife, or children.
Stop right there.
Land.
Stop right there. Hold on. Wait 1 minute. You supposed to forsake all of that? In the world, you have these people who they either a rapper or a basketball player or football player or something like that. And every last one of them, when they get their Grammy or their Emmy or whatever, their MVP award or whatever the case may be, they always think their wife and their kids and their mama and all of that. What do they thank them for? Because as they were spending time perfecting their craft and working on being diligent to be a basketball player, being diligent to be a producer, whatever they became, being diligent to be a football player, they forsake their houses to do that. It was more important for them to get in that weight room and train, for them to run these laps, for them to do this, for them to eat certain foods, for them to spend time away from their families in order to become great in what they were trying to obtain. Well, Christ just told them, for everyone that's done that, that's forsaken their house and their brothers and their sisters and their mama and their daddy and their wife and their children for the sake of being a rapper. Is that what it say?
For my name's sake.
For Christ's sake, for Yahweh's sake. If you did it for the sake of the kingdom, that the Lord's kingdom coming, that's different from if you just did it to go have fun. It's different if you forsake your family to go to the strip club. You forsake your family to go do drugs. There's a lot of people forsake their family to go get high. That's not what this talking about. It's talking about people who have forsaken their family and their lands and all the responsibilities of this world for the sake of this kingdom. Keep going.
Shall receive 100-fold.
Shall receive 100-fold. Go ahead.
Everlasting life.
And inherit. Meaning you back in the family of the Most High. You inherited this because I promised it to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is heaven, huh? This is heaven. You being able to judge and rule over the other nations and being able to live under the blessings of the Most High. It's happening on earth. Y'all don't want that? Give me Isaiah chapter 14, verse 2. Let me show you that heaven is talked about in the Bible in a totally different way than what they taught us. Because they taught us, you know what I'm saying, it was a place where you can go. Once you die, keep in mind you got to die to get there. Go ahead. Go ahead, Bakwash.
Isaiah.
Oh, Salakia. I think the other brother had it. Who was that had it?
No, it's all good. I don't want that. That's a short though.
All right, yeah, I'm going to let the trooper get it. Go ahead, Trooper Bakwash.
What kind? Isaiah chapter 14, verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Lord for servants and handmaids.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Yeah. Why in the world is this in the Bible? Ain't slavery wrong? Ain't slavery wrong, Trey? Slavery ain't wrong. So it ain't wrong what the white man did to our forefathers.
That is wrong,
Okay, what's the difference?
The difference is the Most High, He put us in captivity because now us brothers in the truth, we know what hell is, and we know we're in this condition because of what we don't want to do, and that is follow the law.
Okay, so it says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them. Possess who? The people that they're going to take to their place. Meaning that the house of Israel is going to have slaves in the land of the Lord, meaning the Lord's kingdom. The house of Israel will have slaves and possess them for servants and handmaids. Right? Somebody tell me how this is supposed to be heaven. Not my Jesus doesn't say this. My Jesus ain't die for this. Go ahead, Doc.
What's happening right here, and what's happening in all the other captivities that we was in Ezekiel. They was explaining how nation of Edom would be like they replicants gonna come back on them for the violence.
Yeah, but this ain't just talking about Edom though.
Right. But I'm just saying, like this is it's a difference between that and this.
All right, let me. Okay, so you saying that the only reason we get to rule over them is because they ruled over us? Okay, so the difference is you saying that they deserve slavery, so that's why they getting it. Didn't we deserve slavery too?
Yeah, but we served ours.
All right, somebody else wanted to chime in? Hold on 1 second. Trooper Gabar, go ahead.
Could you repeat the question again, Adawan?
The question is right here in Isaiah chapter 14, verse 2, right? It's talking about the land of the Lord, meaning this is the Lord's kingdom. And in this kingdom, it's saying we're going to take people to their place, put them in their place, and the house of Israel is going to possess, meaning own people in the land for servants and handmaids, meaning slaves. Right? In the truth, we're teaching that this is heaven. This is what we're fighting for. This is what we're living right for. This is what we're doing. This is what we're trying to do. Right?
Right.
How is this right? How is this right if slavery is wrong?
I don't want it's simple. Like the Lord is the one that decide what's good and evil. And so if the Lord says we can have slaves, then we can have slaves. There's nothing wrong with it because the Lord is the creator of all things. Right, Adawan?
All right, we'll take that. We'll take that out.
Oh, I got another one.
Somebody else wanted to chime in? Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, there's a precept on that
Yeah, I don't want the precept. I just wanted to add the question. Hold the precept. If you got it, hold it. All right? Hold it right now. I just wanted to know. This is what I'm telling y'all. Hell ain't what they told us it was. Hell ain't what they said it was going to be. I'm reading to you out of the Bible what heaven is. Salakia. Heaven ain't what they said it was going to be. Hell ain't. They said hell was a place up under the earth. We just read where hell was you getting it going into captivity up to other nations. Heaven, we reading it right now, is saying that in the land of the Lord, the one that Christ was telling us to pray about, thy kingdom come. The Lord said the people that follow him would rule over, judge the 12 tribes of Israel, and the 12 tribes of Israel would judge over the rest of the earth. The scripture said when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. This is the answer to the question. The reason slavery, as we know it, blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, is wrong is because you had a wicked people that was ruling. The difference is you will have a righteous people that's ruling in the Lord's kingdom. Everybody understand? That's the difference. The Lord is not going to allow a wicked nation to rule in his kingdom. You will have a just man who served the Lord unto death ruling, and everybody else is going to have to follow that. One of y'all priests get me those my enemies who will not have me rule over them. Get me that. All right. So y'all get what I'm saying? Now, it's 1 second. And the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. Whoever was reading, keep reading from there. Isaiah 14:2. Keep going.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, whose captives they were.
Stop right there. Stop right there. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. What does that mean? What does that mean? What is that saying about the Lord's kingdom? Go ahead.
That the first shall be last and the last shall be first.
Precept. So whoever says Salakia first.
Revelation.
Yeah, not what revelation?
If any man have an ear, let him hear.
Yes, we go in there next. Is there another precept? Go ahead.
Yeah, Revelation chapter 13, verse 10.
Yeah, we go in there next. Is there another precept? Go ahead.
Matthew 19 and 30.
What's Matthew 19 and 30?
For the first shall be last, and the last shall be first.
Okay. Not necessarily. You could use it for that. You could use it for that, but not necessarily. The reason why is because those who are blessed in Esau's kingdom right now, remember I brought up the movie stars and the athletes and all of that. They first in Esau's kingdom. They'll be in the kingdom. They'll be Israel. Remember what it said about the preachers, them big money preachers that that right now have control over the money and the people in the hood go and put thousands and thousands of dollars in their pocket every week, and they buy Lamborghinis and Bentleys and jets and mansions and all of this instead of feeding and taking care of the people, right? Give me Matthew chapter 5, verse 5 real quick. Go ahead, Kiefer, what you needed. Who? Obadiah 1:17. Let's see what that says. I don't know what that says. But Quash, go ahead and finish this out before we move on.
Whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
And they shall rule over their oppressors. This is heaven. This is what Christ was praying for as he was under the Romans 2,000 years ago. That the Lord's kingdom would come where we ain't have to be under no stinking Romans. Where we ain't got to be up under Donald Trump. Where we can rule over our oppressors. Now, if that's too hardcore for you, you don't believe in the Bible. Get me that one you said, Revelation 13 and 10. Let's get that. Go ahead, Out. Go ahead, Out. 1 second, Trey. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 5. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth.
Is it more to that?
That was all the 5 you want me to read. Verse 6 out of 1?
Go to 4. Let me see what it says for.
They.
What does it say about poor?
Matthew chapter 5, verse 3. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. Read that again.
Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
What does that mean? Somebody explain that to me. I don't get it. Go ahead, priest.
Says, blessed are the poor in spirit, those blacks and Hispanics, Native Indians. We that's poor in spirit.
What does it mean to be poor in spirit?
Like we don't know that we the chosen.
Okay. What does that do to our spirit?
It crushes our spirit. What's the word I'm looking for? It destroyed our spirit.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I want to get it right. Okay. Listen. This is what it is, right? There are people in the earth right now living up under the white man in his society who have maybe a good job. Remember them people I was talking about? You got your Kanye West, you got your I don't know, Oprah, right? I remember I was watching this joint with the Breakfast Club, and Killer Mike was on there, and they was talking about somebody calling them a nigga, like they putting their kids in private school and them being called racial slurs and all of this other stuff. And the dude, Killer Mike, said it's a much different thing to be called a nigga when your daddy drives a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or something like that than it is for somebody to be called that who hurt. The reason why is because you don't have the same pride that they have, right? What has to happen is you have to lose that pride and realize that you ain't shit. Until you do that, you'll continue to think, I'm doing good, I'm balling. I remember, I don't know if y'all came up like me, but in the world, it was a thing where, like, if it was Christmas, you get a new outfit for Christmas or the 4th of July or New Year's, and you want to be fresh on New Year's. That means you're going to be fresh for the rest of the year. Something stupid like that. Anybody ever heard of this? Okay, all right. So it wasn't just me. All right. So one time, I done when they got this, like, this raw fit, right? I don't know if it was Christmas or New Year's or something. I was like, yo, I'm gonna hurt him. I'm gonna hurt him on New Year's or Christmas or whatever. And one of my partners at the time, he was like, man, forget that. I ain't trying to just be fresh for that one day. I want to be fresh the whole year. Right? And it made me think about something from a totally different perspective. Right now, black people will spend all their money for Christmas. They will try their best to ball out and have a good time and all of this for their birthday. And for their child birthday, they get Jordans and all of this other stuff. And at the end of the month, they can't pay the rent. The lights get cut off. Oh, we went on a cruise last month. Now all of a sudden, we can't afford to stay where we staying. We had to sell everything in order to get a piece of the white man's kingdom. What we think heaven really is, right? When it said the poor in spirit, it's those people have been broke out of that pride of being in and understand that they are at the bottom of the bottom. And understand that the white man has his foot on your neck. And understand that they children ain't living the best life. That they family ain't in a condition that they want to be in. And they want better and understand that there's no way to get it but to serve the Lord. That's what he's talking about, poor in spirit. Not necessarily poor in your pocket. You got to be poor in your pockets in order to break you down, because in this world, in Esau's world, money is everything. Money is their God. So if you got it, then you serving God. You serving money. But in the Lord's kingdom, the creator of heaven and earth is God. The Lord that fed his people without no money. So when he said, blessed is the poor in spirit, what it says about blessed is the poor in spirit, read that part after that.
For there is the kingdom of heaven.
Because there is the kingdom of heaven. That's where you could see when brothers and sisters come back to righteousness. Come back to righteousness. You know how many brothers in here was the man on these streets? Last time I checked, I was the man on these streets. Lord had to take everything from a brother for him to understand that he really need the Lord. Y'all follow me? Long as you got it, why are you going to serve the Lord? You serving that money. I don't know what y'all talking about with all that God stuff. I don't know about that God stuff. We out here getting money. The Lord sometimes has to take that God away from you, that idol away from you, in order for you to see. And it ain't, they go hand in hand, but what he's talking about is those people that have been broken. The scripture said the sacrifices of God is a broken and contrite spirit. That's what the Lord requires out of you in order to change your life. As long as you're doing everything you want to do, then what's the reason? You don't know how many brothers I talked to that's high-ranking officers and captains and generals that said until the Lord took everything they had, they would not get in line, even though they knew the truth was right here. You're not going to submit yourself unto nobody as long as you got your pride, unto nothing as long as you got your money. But a broken and contrite spirit, there is the kingdom of the Lord. Y'all get that. Skip down to the one that we had. Give me Revelations 13 and 10. Who got it? Go ahead. Oh, Salakia. Who was just there at Matthew? Who was just there?
Young man Trey Ottawa.
You still got it? Go down to the meek. Once the Lord broke your spirit, then you're able to come in here and to follow men that you might deem to have less money than you or whatever. You might have looked down upon because you had money. LeBron James ain't finna look at you and listen to nothing you got to say, nigga. He's going to listen to Jay-Z or whoever got more money than him because that's his God. Go ahead, about the meek. What is it?
Chapter 5, verse 5. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth.
Once the Lord done broke your spirit and your pride down, you are in a position where he can use you to raise up this nation. And those are the people who are going to inherit the earth. Well, what's going to happen to the people on the top? Because in every society and every kingdom, you have the people that's on top and you got the people that's on bottom. Every single kingdom. It don't matter. The difference is when righteous are in authority, even the people that's on bottom are going to rejoice. But when the wicked is in authority, the people that's on the bottom cannot even get a glass of water. Can get shot for doing absolutely nothing. Y'all follow me? Give me Revelation 13 and 10. The meek gonna inherit the earth. The people with nothing. The people who are humble. The people who have been humbled because we've been in this captivity for so long. Who got it? Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Remember it said we're going to rule over our oppressors? We're going to take them whose captives we were. That was in the Old Testament. So-called Old Testament. This at the end of the book right here. It's saying the same thing. There is no difference in the New Testament and the Old Testament. It's just different brothers using different lingo. Different times where people understood things differently. And he's speaking at a time after Christ has already came. And he's saying that he that leadeth into captivity, meaning the people that led us into captivity. Remember it said they're going to rule over their oppressors. Well, in Revelation, John is saying he that leadeth into captivity is going to go into captivity, meaning that what the brother said, the first going to be led, the people that's on top right now are going to be the people that's on the bottom. Keep going. Trooper Bakwash, you got it? Who is that reading? Go ahead.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Here's the thing right here, man. You want to have mercy, and you want to love the white man, and you want to love the African nations that sold us into slavery and killed us. You want to love the Arabs who bombed and killed and did all this destruction to all of these people. But the Lord is going to have to get rid of some people in order for you to get to the top. The Lord is going to have to kill those people who will not give up them being on top in order for the Lord's kingdom to come. Keep reading.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
This is the patience and the faith of the saints. This is what we got faith in. This is what we waiting on. That the Lord will put those people who put us into captivity. That those people who killed the Lord's people will be killed with the sword. And what I'm telling you is everybody ain't going to go quietly. Some people is living a lifestyle that they would rather die than to be in the position that you in right now. They have to pay rent. They have to serve another nation. They have to work up under it. That's hell. They would rather die than to go into that. Well, give me the precept I asked for with Christ. Those my enemies. Go ahead.
Luke 19 and 27. But those my enemies, which would not that I should reign over them.
But those my enemies. This is Christ speaking. Those my enemies. Now, even Christ got enemies. All that Jesus is love. Christ got enemies. And this is what he's saying. Those my enemies who don't want me to rule over them, who don't want me to be a king. Remember it said those people whose captives we were, we're going to rule over our oppressors and all of this. It's going to be under the rulership and authority of Christ. And Christ, our Lord, who we serving, my other one, who I'm saying his will over mine. Who cares if I love a Hamite or a white man? Not my will, but his. My desire is his desire. That's rank and order. That's structure. Nevertheless, not my will, but what Christ said. And Christ said, those my enemies who will not have me rule over them. What's the order? Read it.
On the call, bring hither and slay them before me.
Bring them hither and give them a big hug.
Bring hither and slay them before me.
Bring them hither and say, we forgive Dylan Storm Roof. What did it say?
And slay them before me.
What does it mean to slay somebody? Please.
Shalakia.
Go ahead. To kill him. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Y'all get that, right? That's going on in heaven. That's in the Lord's kingdom. That's with Christ at the helm. It ain't all fairy tales and bubbles and cookies and cupcakes. In order for some people to rule, other people have to die. In order for some people to reign and to be in rulership, other people have to be in submission and servitude. Choose ye this day what side you on. Give me Revelation chapter 2, verse 25. This is heaven, y'all. Not what they told us it was. Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 2. Chapter 2, verse 25. But that which ye have already hold fast till I come.
But the things you done heard before this, everything that's in this book, you hold fast on it until Christ come back. Right? Keep going.
And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nation.
This is the patience and the faith of the saints. He that overcometh and keepeth my words to the end. They talk about being saved. Yeah, the Lord came and sent a redeemer to redeem us back. But he that holdeth on to the end, the same shall be saved. This is what it's saying right here. Now, what's saved? Saved is being able to be a part of the kingdom. He that overcometh and keepeth my words to the end, to him I will give power over the nations. Power over the nations. Y'all get that, right? Do I got to break that down? Go ahead. Somebody said Salakia. Go ahead.
I was going to finish your sentence.
Well, go ahead and get priest and give me Revelations 20 and 6 real quick. Let's go to the first resurrection. Right? Let's go to the time before the actual kingdom get here. This is when all hell done broke loose. This is when we get a chance to put the earth in order. This is when the bring them hither and slay them before me starts. Let me get it out.
Revelation chapter 20, verse 6. Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. On such the second death have no power.
What is the first and second death? The first death is when you kill that old man that you was, or that old woman that you was before you found the truth. Now, if you can do that, if you can completely kill that person you was that loved to have ridiculous, unlawful sex, that love to eat unlawful foods, that love to smoke and do unlawful drugs and all of this, if you can completely kill that person, the second death have no power over you. Blessed and holy is he that have part in the first resurrection. You are raised up in power right now. You keep these laws, statutes, and commandments and maintaining this truth and completely kill off that old spirit you had in you. There it is. Keep going.
Okay. his death have no power, but they shall be priests of the Most High in Christ and of Christ.
They shall be priests of the Most High in Christ, meaning they will do the work of the Lord. They will keep the words of the Lord, and they will teach the people the words of the Lord. This is why we are priests of the Most High, not them people that rape little babies in the Catholic Church. They not the real priests. The real priests of the Most High look like us. Those are the people who have killed off that old man that tells them to go and do everything against the Lord and does not keep the law, statutes, and commandments. But they shall be priests of the power and of Christ. Go ahead.
Okay. And shall reign with him 1,000 years.
This is the first time. We're going to reign with him 1,000 years, cutting off heads and bringing him before them and slaying them before his face. Right? Y'all got that. This is heaven. Give me Revelations 5 and 10. Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 5, verse 10. And has made us unto our God king and priest, and we shall reign on the earth.
See that? Christ has redeemed us. Niggas who the Lord had divorced and turned his face away from and allowed us to go in these captivities and serve these other nations. Christ has redeemed us back to the Most High. Now we shall reign as we shall, and has changed us into kings and priests. He said he would turn a man into fine gold. People want to look at these scriptures and be like, and 7 women shall take hold of 1 man. Why would they do that? If you just a dirty, disgusting nigga, just like everybody else in the world. Why? The reason they should do that is because you should do like Adam and rule over his woman. Once he made that mistake ain't happened no more. We learn from Adam's mistake. I ain't listening to my woman. I'm going to serve the Lord and do what he say to do. I'm going to trust in my king, Yahushua. Do what he said to do. And forget what I want to do. Nevertheless, not my will, but yours. And in response, I will be turned into a king and a priest. I'm just a nigga from the hood who gave me rank and authority over other men, over my household, over women, over children, over other nations. Only way it happens is if the Lord is with me. Other than that, it ain't enough guns. It ain't enough bullets. I ain't got enough strength. I ain't got enough men that's willing to fight with me to take down the governments that rule this earth right now. It has to be done with the Lord. This is the Lord's kingdom on the earth, and we shall reign with him on the earth. Everybody get that, right?
Oh, God.
That's what this thing is all about. If you a sister, you make sure you try your damnedest to make sure that man is on point and serving the men above him, and you serve him with zeal as he serves the Lord. If you a brother, you serve the men above you, and they as they serve the men above them all the way back up to Christ. And we'll be able to take part in this kingdom, raise up this nation so we can get Deuteronomy 28 and 1 instead of Deuteronomy 16 on 28 and 16 on down with all the curses. We done did that. Now Christ came and died and then showed us the way to do it. And it's up to us to follow every single law that was given to Moses, just like David told his son. And if we can do that, then there shall not ever not be a man that's sitting on the throne of Israel. Somebody says, Salakia?
That was me. I was just going to say it's 9:04, getting close to time for the general.
You think I don't know what time it is? The water for you know, I know what time it is.
Well, Salakia,
Yeah, no sweat. It's all right. I had a point. The point been brought out. Everybody understand it? Anybody got any questions? Go ahead.
I just wanted to know, could we use Exodus 19?
Oh, look at this. Hey, man, it's time for the general. We ain't got time for your precept. Nah, go ahead. Read Exodus for me.
Exodus 19 and 6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak.
He said that we'll be a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. This was all talked about in the Old Testament. Is a million precepts that talks about this, but I want to make sure y'all understood. Heaven is not some mystical, magical fairy tale place. This is the kingdom of the Lord on earth. It's going to be ruled by a righteous king set up by the Lord, just like King David was, just like Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? And we'll keep the kingdom this time because we're not going to allow it to fall based on us doing wrong. And the Lord would never have another nation over us. The only reason we serving another nation right now is because we chose not to serve the Lord. All right. Anybody got any other questions? Go ahead.
I just wanted a quick breakdown on Revelation 20, verse 14.
You say you wanted a breakdown on Revelations 20 and 13? Go ahead and read it out.
And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death.
This is what it was talking about when it said the second death will have it was said we'll have no Salakia. Hold on one second. Gotta get it. I gotta get it up. The second death have no power over them that have been a part of the first death. The second death is what we call thermonuclear fire coming into the earth. All right. It's going to be a war. Esau is going to be fighting all the other nations and other nations. It's going to be Esau versus Esau, really. But it's going to be different nations coming down to the Valley of Jehoshaphat to fight with Esau. Salakia. And what's going to happen is thermonuclear war. This is the second death where a lot of people are going to be killed on the earth. It's going to be a lot of death and famine and everything else. And if you are not serving the Lord, even if you Israel, you will die in that death and your spirit will have to come back once we got the kingdom. Everybody ain't going to fight. Everybody ain't going to serve the Lord. Everybody ain't going to do what they supposed to do. But chosen men and chosen women are going to survive that. Mostly those people who have changed their life and become a part of it. But that's the second death, thermonuclear war. All right. And that's why I was talking about death and hell. All the hell we going through, everything that we going through right now. Everything that we going through right now is going to be the Lord is going to get rid of that by destroying the nations that's in power. All right. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end the class. Let me go ahead and get these announcements in real quick. ISUPK, Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. Rule for new brothers and sisters. I'm in class. I'll move in a second. Rule for new brothers and sisters coming into school. Hey, Sharatazai, you got the announcements up? Go ahead and read the announcements real quick for me, Salaki. That I'm gonna end the class on the YouTube. Y'all make sure y'all check Commander General Yohana's ISUPK Florida, Salaki.